going to share one of my stories with you all. So let's start. 4 years back, me and my cousin were having fun because it was Diwali. We just shifted to this new society. That's why I didn't have any friends. So, me and my cousins, we were playing in the balcony with the firecrackers. Suddenly, two containers started burning because of the firecrackers. Then we called our parents to put off the fire using water. This was my story of Diwali. Thank you.
Today I'm going to tell you a story about myself. I woke up in the morning at 6 o'clock and I got ready. Then I went to some a trek, and when I was doing trekking, after I trekked, I went up the mountain and I reached. It was nice there up and I loved there. Then I was sitting there and enjoying. Then I went someplace which was very steep. After that, I came up again very from the steep place. Then I went from the different way down. Then I reached. Thank
Was doing my colorful coaster, I thought that I should take the yellow color because it's one of my favorite colors. It would look nice in the colorful coaster because I started with painting black and I can put some light color in it. Okay, so I put that color on it, but as I was doing the next part, the color spilled over my whole coaster. So then I thought, because now my favorite color is not there, and also I can't paint because I don't know anything about painting, and I always ruin everything. I was very sad and angry, so I thought that I would never paint. I will leave painting because I don't know about that. But at the same night, my mother asked me to bring some painting clothes. I was surprised how my mother knew about that. Yeah, I have decided to never paint, but then after I started to paint and I did a nice painting, and then I realized that I can paint, and so this is my tiny next story. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sunam Jambal. I am from Jammu and Kashmir. Dance is my hobby and that feels me happy, energetic, strong, and relaxed. I participate always in my school dance competition. I tap my feet after listening the music. My parents recognized it and admit me in dance institute. I got 4 trophies, and this is my dynamic story. Bye bye. Hello, my name is Sunam Jambal.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sasha, and I'm studying in fifth grade. Today, I'm going to tell a story on Molly's long hair. Once there was a girl named Molly. She had very long hair and beautiful hair. And she took great care of it. People would always compliment her hair. All the compliments got to her head. She started teasing people with short hair. She showed off her hair even more than before. One day, as she was sitting at a table, a piece of gum got stuck to her hair. Molly tried really hard, but she couldn't get it off. She tried washing her hair and pulling the gum out, but nothing worked. Finally, she had to go to the hairdresser and get her long hair chopped. Her hair that flowed endlessly now barely reached her shoulders. Molly realized that her pride and faults she had hurt many of her good friends. Because of it, Molly learned her lesson. She was never proud and haughty again. Moral: pride keeps us from caring for others. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Tanisha. I really love to read books. Books are one of my favorite stuff. Whenever I want to read, like, whenever I want to play or do something, I'm like, nah, no playing. I just want to go and read a book. Then I just go up to my station, and that station is in my study area. I go up to that station and I just keep reading. Well, one of my favorite books are this book called Mr. Wrong and another book called Little Miss Fun. Those two books are so nice to read. Whenever I want to read a book, I just read those two, and then I'm done reading. I just go and fall to like go and sleep. Then, and that's my story.
Everyone. My name is Saurabh Sharma. I study in 5th grade. Today I am going to tell you a story of Habuild Summer Camp. Behind me you can see many activities and crafts. Of all these crafts, my favorite was stamp painting taught by Bhakti teacher. I have used many fruits and vegetables to decorate this shirt. I have given a new look to my old t-shirt. I was having no holidays in my school. Still, I was attending the recording of the summer camp. I will give a thanks to Habild. This is my tiny Mike story. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I was so overwhelmed listening to all your stories. This is so good. You guys are phenomenal. So, I see you guys have had so much fun, no? Today we finally reached the last day. How are you all feeling? Quickly type in the chat box. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling accomplished as if you've really done something good in the last 12, 14 days? Or are you feeling sad that you're going to miss your friends over here? We are going to miss you. I know some of them are writing sad, happy, great. Right? Whatever you feel like. Are you feeling good? Oh, I'm feeling energetic. That's so good. And sad, good. Okay. What else? Come on, come on. All the expressions, whatever you want to express, go all out. Are you feeling excited that you've learned so much and you are going to take that forward? Or are you feeling curious that what more can I do to make my rest of the vacation good? Happy, we missed all, ma'am. Okay. Sad, despair. Okay. Interesting. Nice. Sad. Don't be sad. Come on. We are going to have a very interesting class today also. I know we will miss each other, but we will figure out a way together. Yes. So today what will we do? We are going to have one more storytelling session with Sudarshan. Remember? So every time Sudarshan comes, he gets a group of his little friends who also come up with such beautiful stories, isn't it? Yes. So are we excited? Are we excited to have Sudarshan and the little friends together on stage? Quickly type yes in the chat box. I am sure you all are. Let me see. Yes. Quick, quick, quick. If you all don't type, then they will not come. Okay. So show your excitement. All right. Amazing. Now I like this. Okay. So you want to know the new friends who are coming in with Sudarshan? So we have Anvay, who is joining from Bangalore. We have Kanaisha, who is joining from Udaipur. Yes. We have Arjit. You know where is he joining from? He's joining all the way from Denmark. And we have Sudarshan, who is joining from Pune. Yes. So can we have everyone on stage? A big rainbow hi to all y'all. With both hands, big rainbow high. Amazing. All right. Over to you, team.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And hello, 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 everyone. Hello, Arijit. Hello, Anvai. Hello,
Hello.
Kanisha. And hello, everybody else who's joining from different parts of India and the world. What an incredible thing that so many of us have joined this virtual summer camp by Habuild. And how many interesting things have we learned in this entire time? You know, Arjit, Anvai, Kanaisha, there are kids from around India who have done all kinds of workshops, and like some of the things that the kids have learned are incredible. You saw the stories that we played at the start, no? We saw the stories of the kids talking of different things they've learned and their tiny mic stories as well. In fact, if you missed any one of those, we've got one more story. So let's see if we can play that. Back end team, we've got one more story left. Yes? Could we play that? If we have that, we'll play that. Back in team, yes.
Everyone. I am Shana. I study in fifth grade. Today I am going to tell you a story about the Habil summer camp. We did various activities in Habil summer camp. Like you can see here, we have done tissue paper art, pot painting, and Picasso art with waste material, and Zentangle art, Har Ghar Yoga. In Har Ghar Yoga, we have made a garden with 3D butterfly and some insects. And here is my clay craft. My favorite was stamp painting because it was so fun. I love to do it with Bhakti teacher. This was my tiny mic story. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wasn't that amazing? Wasn't that great? Think of everything that we've done over just this storytelling workshop. So we asked everybody to draw a river of life or a river of stories. You could do that for your entire life, or you could do that for the time of your summer camp. And what that does is every single moment in this river makes you think of a story that you have to share. And that could lead to your tiny mic story. Then on day two, we also thought of, oh, could we use different emotions? And could those emotions lead to different stories? After that, I also explained how stories come from what you observe and stories come from what you feel about what you observe. And then I introduced the Tiny Mike Story game, which all of you can play, not just today, but as long as you have fun doing it. In which all you have to do is you have to think of what happened today, what did I feel about what happened today, and then you tell a 1 minute story, which we call the Tiny Mike Story. All the kids here, that is Arjit, Anvai, Kanaisha, all the kids who've joined in the past, all the other kids at Tiny Mike Story play this game. And that's how they come up with the most interesting stories. So let's get to know a little bit about the kids who are joining in today, because every day we are having new ones who are joining in as well. So let's just understand. Kanaisha, where are you joining in from?
Udaipur.
Udaipur. Oh, very nice. And what do you like about Udaipur, Kanaisha?
Because my whole family is there.
So you like the fact that your entire family is in Udaipur. Huh. And of all the places that you visited, where do you feel the most at home? Like, is there a place that you like the most?
Yes,
Which one is it?
it is in Udaipur only.
Udaipur only because all your family is there. Okay, so you are in Udaipur. Anvai, you are joining from Bangalore, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And is all your family also in Bangalore?
Nah, all my family is in Lucknow and Kanpur.
In Lucknow and Kanpur. And have you grown up there as well? Have you grown up in Lucknow?
I'm mostly grown up in Bangalore.
In Bangalore. And I know that we had a couple of other kids who'd come in from Bangalore. Tell me this: is Bangalore all that nice that people seem to love Bangalore? They say it's green. They say it's like there's a lot of things to do. Is that true?
Yeah, I like Electronic City Phase 2 because like there's M5 mall near my apartment.
Aha. So you like that about Bangalore? Okay. And Arjit, you are also very close to Bangalore, right? You are all the way in Copenhagen, Denmark. Tell me this: what is the most interesting thing in Copenhagen? I've never been. Tell me
Yeah.
about Denmark. Tell me about Copenhagen. Tell us about what is interesting about Denmark and Copenhagen, and how is it different from India or Bangalore or Udaipur or India or Pune?
There is the world's oldest working amusement park, and
Okay.
there's this wooden ride that still works properly, but it's
Aha.
very shaky and like creaky.
And what do you like to do in Copenhagen generally? What are the things that are your favorite things to do?
Mm, I like to go to the park when it doesn't rain.
When it doesn't rain, and it rains quite a bit, is it in Copenhagen?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, yeah. So I remember a friend of mine who is from Netherlands had once told me that in
Mm,
Netherlands we don't say the weather is bad because it rains all the time. We just say that you are not dressed properly because the weather is going to weather all the time, as in the weather is going to rain or do whatever it
yeah,
has to. It's just about how you dress up and how you're prepared for it. So whether it
yeah,
rains or not, if you're dressed well, it should be okay. Is that the case in Copenhagen as well?
yeah, yeah. You have to be prepared for anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, for everyone listening, this can apply to a lot of different things. We can say, for example, Arey, something else that was beyond my control, weather was not right. We can say, Arey, around me, there are no yoga studios, or around me, there's no place to exercise. But it doesn't matter. You have Habuild, no? You can just click your phone and join Kashish or join Saurabh and do yoga with them. Similarly, many things in life, while the external things might be there, might not be there, it's up to you. There are so many interesting things that you could discover and you could do by yourself. Even if the summer camp's ending, you could still do what Bhakti ma'am taught you about those stamps and about everything else, no? So, for everyone listening in, ask yourself, even if the summer camp's over, what are the things that you would want to do from now on? Okay. One of the things I would suggest is tell a story every day, a story about what you see and what you feel, and perhaps we could have everyone here tell a story as well. And again, 1 minute story. Perhaps I could go first. Let me think of a story that I could share from my day yesterday. Okay, here we go. My story in three, two, one, go. I go to the gym every day, and in the gym, there is this one lady who's always pleasant. Every time she meets anyone, she's smiling. Even if she doesn't know them, she's always smiling, and she's quite older. And then the other day, I was talking to her, and I asked her, "How long have you been coming to the gym?" And she said, "I've been coming regularly for 3 years." I was like, "Wow, 3 years!" And then she said, "Yes, and I'm 63." And I was like, that is incredible. She said, I have not missed a single day of coming to the gym and exercising in an entire year. And that immediately made me think of all the incredible people at Habuild. There are so many people, 60 years of age, 20 years of age, who have been regularly exercising with Saurav, with Kashish. And what an incredible thing to be able to do something again and again and again and again. It's going to lead to incredible things. That's my tiny mic story. Okay, so that's my tiny mic story. Up next, by the way, everyone who's listening as well, what Kanaisha is doing is the applause that we give at the end of a story. Okay, up next we will have Kanaisha. Perhaps you could go next, and after Kanaisha we can have Arjit who'll go next, and after Arjit we can have Anvai. Okay, Kanaisha, 1 minute for your tiny mic story. Your time starts in three, two, one, go.
My my Masi gave me. My Masi told me that my my birthday was like it was not really. My birthday used to be happy, but it turned out to be sad. So I had to dress up nicely. I was really happy when I dressed up, and my all the friends came together for the cake cutting, and then we all started to fight for the cake cutting. Nobody was letting me in between. So then I pushed everybody, and then they said, "Okay, come on in between." So then I told the cake that be cracked, it wouldn't be cracked. Then I cracked it. Then all prize chocolates were given to my friends. I thought my friends should be not invited so many. I should have so mm, so little friends. And I said, okay, then I got angry. Then my mother made me happy with the cream cake.
Okay, okay. Well done. Everybody give Kanisha a round of applause. Well done. Kanisha is, by the way, amongst the youngest members of Tiny Mike's story. How incredible is that? That at such a young age, she started telling a story. Imagine this. If every single day from a very young age, you're telling a story, by the time you're 15 and 16 and 17 and 18, you will have all of these stories that you've told. And just the practice of telling a story every day will make you so incredible at telling stories, right? So up next we have Arjit. Arjit, here we go. 1 minute for you. Your time starts in three, two, one, go.
Arjit Singh, नाम तो सुनाया होगा, but my name is Arjit. A lot of people mistake it to be Arijit. Even Sudarshan does. But I don't even sing. And everybody keeps asking me, do you sing? Do you sing? But I say, no, I don't. And they get disappointed. I don't even sing in music class. But everything changed last music class. My music teacher, Jeff, noticed that I wasn't singing. So he got an idea to make me sing. He literally blackmailed me and said that, Arjit, if you don't sing, you won't get a good grade in music. And who wants a bad grade? Well, I don't. So from then on, I started singing in music class. That's my tiny mic story. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Well done, well done, well done. Well done, Arjit.
Thank you.
Arjit, not Arijit. Yes, even I make the mistake sometimes, no? Great. Okay, up next is Anvay. Anvay, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, in five, four, three, two, one, go.
My mother screamed. Ah! I asked, what happened? You saw a nightmare or something? My mother literally pointed to my grandfather. I saw him holding a chipkili in his hand. Like, imagine there's a chipkili on the wall, and my grandfather comes to pick it up and throw it outside. Me and my mother ran and saw my grandfather throwing it above the wall, which I've never done before. After that, I asked my grandfather, are you Chipkili man or something? He answered, no, but that Chipkili would just come and eat up our food. Like how? A Chipkili doesn't even eat roti and stuff. First, I didn't even know that my mother was afraid of Chipkilis. Second, I didn't know that my grandfather wouldn't be this scared of Chipkilis. That's my tiny Mike story.
Okay, okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well done, Anvay. That's your story of Chipkali. I used to be really interested in Chipkalis when I was a kid, because every time there used to be one Chipkali that would come in the evening to visit right above our tube light. I even named it. I call it Rajeshwar. And every evening I would wait for Rajeshwar to come. As soon as the tube light was on, it would come. And then there would be small little flies around the tube light. So Rajeshwar would eat some of those flies. And it became like a thing that every day after I come back from playing, as this was when I was a kid, every day after I came back from playing, I would look for Rajeshwar and then I would try and see, oh, how many flies is he eating. And then one day, suddenly Rajeshwar went away. And I still don't know where it's gone away. Perhaps, like Anvay's grandfather, somebody took Rajeshwar and threw him away over the wall. Now, I have so many stories like these from my life that I have completely forgotten. And when I hear a story from one of the kids, when I hear Anvay talking about the Chipkali, I'm suddenly reminded, oh yes, there was that story from my life as well. When I hear Arjit talking about how he gets confused with the singer, I start remembering, oh yes, I also have a lot of stories from my singing class. When Kanaisha talks about how her birthday, which was supposed to be great, ended up being not so great because so many other kids came and shoved her aside, I start thinking of all the stories from my birthday, all the different emotions that I felt. So what's happening here is even listening to other kids telling their stories makes you think of stories from your life. And what are stories? Stories are essentially your own lives in moments that you're going back to. And how incredible is that? That's why a couple of days ago, I had also mentioned how stories are just a tool. What we are trying to do is to look at everyday life in greater detail and start finding beauty in everyday life. So with this said, we are starting here. We're starting with really small everyday stories, and then you could get better every time you tell a story. So we have two kids from Tiny Mike Story who've been speaking for some time, and they have some stories as well. So back in theme, could we play that story, please?
I loved going to my sister's house because she had a grand piano. Every time she used to play when I was little. I loved going to my sister's house because she had a grand piano. Every time she used to play her piano, all the family members used to clap for her. I used to imagine myself playing the piano and everyone clapping for me too. So I told Mama, I want to join piano. My teacher, Darshana Didi, gave me very easy notes. E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G. That's it? Yes, I learned piano. Didi, give me anything. I can play it because now I know piano. So she gave me this. What is this S for? What does this circle, line and dot mean? I don't understand anything. I think I chose the wrong instrument. Then I slowly learned them. Next class, she told me to play with both the hands together. This is never possible. When I played with my left hand, my right hand goes wrong and vice versa. Then I also got the hang of that too. Now I was sure that I had learned 100%. Yes, now I know everything, so I can open my own band. Next class, that Darshana Didi played Habuild Kids. She played it so fast, I did not understand anything. Didi, will I ever be able to play this? Yes, Prisha, but with time, practice and patience. So that is how my journey has been up till now. I am good at piano, I am bad at piano. I can do this, I cannot do this. I know everything, I know nothing.
Okay, so that was one, and we have one more.
The most successful business I have ever ran. I was watching a YouTube video of a guy opening packs of Pokemon cards. There were Pokemon cards of Superman or Godzilla. That's a good idea. Maybe I should make one. I have an app that will make custom cards of anything, multiple cards that I don't need. My friend over there has a printer. This guy was like my business partner for many businesses. Our first customer was this guy called Shrey. He was like, make me a transformer card, I'll pay you $1. We designed the card, we printed the card, we glued the card. We went to that guy's house, he paid us $1. We did a dance in the park and then we went home. Soon, our business was getting popular. More and more children were asking, can you make a card of King Kong, card of this dog? My biggest customer paid me $10 to make a real Pokemon card of a dragon. I thought maybe he just needed it for his collection or something. But I found out that he used it to scam my third grader friend. So, do you know what I did? I shut down the business before anyone else could.
Okay, so that was Prisha and Suryansh talking about different stories. Now, these kids have been speaking for a year, and what you will observe is the storytelling gets better the more stories you tell. I'm sure for those of you who do yoga, this also happens in that the more you do a simple asana, the better you get at doing the simple asana. For those of you who paint, you will see that your lines and your painting get better the more you do them. For those of you who play an instrument, you will realize that if you do it every day, eventually it keeps getting better. For those of you who play a sport, you realize that, for example, in football, you practice the same kick 100 times, and the 101th time that you do it, automatically it starts getting better. So you might not notice the difference from telling a story today and telling a story tomorrow and telling a story the day after. But if you do it enough number of times, suddenly after a little while, what you'll see is, oh, the storytelling's immediately gotten better. And why do you tell stories? So we have. I saw a question in the chat about I'm already observant. I already look at the world. Why do I need to tell a story about it? What happens is when we tell a story, when we are talking about something, often we start imagining that scenario in our head. When we are imagining that scenario in our head, it in a way becomes more real for us. So let's say it's a happy scenario. The more we're talking about a happy memory, you smile, no? You smile when you're thinking of something that's happy. So in a way, you get to be happy twice. Now, what about the inverse? When you're slightly upset about something, the more you're able to talk about it, that sad feeling also goes away. You find a way to deal with it. Which is why I say observing things, looking at everyday life is beautiful. But the act of telling a story will sometimes help you do that better. Or the act of telling a story will sometimes help you look at your observations and turn it into something even better. That's why I tell a story. Stories don't need to be great, they just need to be told. The way to get to a great story is first to get to a good story. The way to get to a good story is first to get to like an okay story. The way to get to an okay story is first to tell a story. Doesn't need to be great, it just needs to be told. And it needs to be told every single day. That's why, like Saurav says, like Kashish says, yoga every day. We at Tiny Mike Story say, tell a story every day. With that said, how do we come up with these stories? This is a question that I get quite a bit from parents, that maybe sometimes we can come up with a story. And I spoke about how you can play the Tiny Mike Story game and think of what happened today, what did I feel about what happened today, and that can lead to a story. You could also look at the story river of stories, river of life, and then think of, oh, are there stories from my life that I could talk about? You could also look at the emotion wheel. So there are different tools that help you think of these. Another tool like this is something that we call mind map. And in fact, we'll play a video that some of these kids at Tiny Mike Story explain what mind map is. This is from a course that we have. For those of you who would want to know more, you could go to tinymikestory.com and you will see more of it. But for now, just the tools that you have are enough for you to tell a story for the next 50 days. So this is mind map. Back in team, could we play the YouTube video? First one.
Think of everything that I have related to the word and pick the most interesting one. Think of a word. Think of everything that I have related to the word and pick the most interesting one. Every time I think of a story, I think of a word. And I think of something related to that word. So I think field trip. There was a field trip one time where a kid dropped a turtle. There was also a field trip one time where I got lost. There was also a field trip, so someone fell off a horse. So I think of all these 3 field trips that happened, and I would pick the one that I like the most. So I talked about the science fair first, then I talked about the turtle first.
Japaloop is a petting zoo with horses and turtles. Turtles? Of course I'm going it as turtles.
And the horse one was also a part of the turtle story. So that was right. Then I think of another word. What am I good at? Business. So I made a restaurant one. There was a origami one. There was a this one and blah blah blah. And I talked about all of them.
The stickiest business I ever created. The most successful business I have ever ran.
So first thing is think of a think of a story. So I'll say this one word. And you have to think of a story and then send it to Shodarshan or something. So first word, fireworks. Think of a story, I don't know you. Second word, animals. Think of a story related to your friend's pet or some wild interaction with the animal. And third word, injuries. You could talk about how you got injured and send them to Sudarshan. to see those. So that is what the main technique is. Think of a word, think of everything that I have related to the word, and pick the most interesting one, with the one with the most humor that could be added to it, the one with the most potential story, and then I just say that story.
One of the reasons this kind of mind map works is not that obvious. The narrower you go, the easier it is for your brain to think of specific stories and examples. So if I say, tell me a story from your school, you might be like, but if I say, tell me a story from your school parking, when you got into a fight, then it leads to a very specific story. Similarly, I could say, tell me a story from your school bathroom. Tell me a story.
I know a story already.
Right?
Stories are first.
So, okay, so that is mind map. How do you think of different stories based on different words? Now, this could actually be a lot of different things. I could pick up different things from around me and think, oh, can I think of a story related to this? I can think of some stories related to stamps. Can I think of a story related to this? Yes, I can think of some stories. Can I think of a story related to this? Yes, I can think of some stories. So stories from your life can be prompted by a lot of different things. And one of the ways to do that is to use these mind maps. In fact, can we have the kids back on and we'll see if we could take some of the prompts that Suryansh in the video shared and ask if anybody has stories related to that. So could I have Kanaisha, Anvay back on? Kanaisha, Anvay, Arjit, hi Anvay, hi Kanaisha, hi. And Arjit, if you are back on, we could have them as well. Okay, tell me this. Now Suryansh in the video spoke of animals, spoke of fireworks, I think, and spoke of injuries. Is there a story that comes to your mind based on any of these three? Now, the story has to be from your life, something that happened, something related to animals, something related to injuries, something related to fireworks. Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? Yes? Okay, Anva, you do? Okay, so would you want to tell me a story related to that?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute for you. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
I love dogs. I wanted them since I was 5. When I watched this video about this man having lots of pets, I asked my mother, can I have a puppy? My mother said, nah, you can't. I am too afraid. Even I said, I will take care of the puppy. My mother said, nah, still no. What if it poops all around the house? I said, I will clean the poop, don't worry. Immediately, my father asked, what all of this is going on? I said nothing, but my mother gave away the secret. Anvay wants a puppy. My father said, okay, you will have a puppy, but not now. When he said, you will have a puppy, I got too excited. When he said, not now, I was very sad. He said, you will get it when you learn how to take care of yourself. And that's my tiny Mike story.
Okay, so very nice. Now, here's something that I want to ask. Kanaisha, listening to Anvay's story about animals, does it make you think of some story from your life? Listening to other kids' stories, does it make you think of stories from your life? Yes. For everybody else, that is one of the best ways for you to also get to know stories. So, in fact, what I want everybody to do, and I want you to do it as well, is for 1 minute, I want everyone listening in, or Anvay and Kanaisha and Arjit also, to tell a 1 minute story related to animals to somebody around you. It could be your parent, it could be a cousin, it could be somebody else that you're watching with. I'll put a 1 minute timer, and what you want to do is tell a story related to animals that you have thought of. Okay, 1 minute for you. Your time starts in 5. And put yourselves on mute, Anvay and Kanaisha. What you have to do is you have to tell your parents. Okay, your time. Everybody listening to share a 1 minute story. You could also record it and put it on the group later. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and that is 1 minute. So, everyone who's listening in, if you've told your story, you could record that story and send it to me as well. I'm sure animals can make you think of so many different stories. So, what's happening here is just the fact that we are listening to a story is making us think of something else. In fact, that is one of the most important things about storytelling that I want everybody to go back with. Now, this is what we follow. Storytelling is not an individual exercise. You don't just go to a coach and learn how to tell a story. You do storytelling in a group, because when you do it in a group, you collectively learn as well. When Anva is telling a story, Kanisha is thinking of a story from her life. And Kanisha is telling a story, I'm thinking, oh, she's doing that well. When Arjit's telling a story, I think, oh, the way he starts a story is so nice. Or when somebody else is saying something really nice, I am thinking, oh, how could I use this in my storytelling? So for everyone, find somebody, whether it is parents, whether it is kids, whether it is friends of yours, to do this activity with. Okay, so there's a video that we'll play about this, and you could use this, because this is the last day. I want to give as much of tools, as much of different techniques as possible for all of you to continue doing this. So can we play the second YouTube video, please?
Story topics. How do I come up with story ideas every weekend? Well, in starting, I thought it was very hard that I would get story ideas for every weekend. But then I figured out that reflection helps me a lot in story ideas. In starting off every TMS online session, Sudarshan asks us to tell about the day we had, and which helps a lot in identifying story ideas. So the thing that I love the most in the TMS Zoom calls is listening to other children's stories, because I get a lot of other ideas and I don't know which one to pick. Whenever other people are telling the story, I tend to find things that from that story happen in my life. It happens very often. So whenever some other kid is telling the story, I tend to find more bits of stories from my life that are connected to that story. So when you listen to somebody else's story, you suddenly remember that, hey, it's happened with me too, and you just come up with a story idea. So one time, one kid started with a question directly, and I thought that might be a good idea for my next story. So that's how I came up with, how do you say goodbye? How do you say goodbye? I've had to say goodbye to my old school, my old friends, and my old teachers. So when you don't have an idea of a story, you could just listen to somebody else's story and you'll get one. For example, one day I heard somebody telling a story about their haircut, and I thought, hey, that could be an amazing story if I speak about it. And that's how I came up with an idea of a story one day. Scooty went vroom vroom vroom. I went ram ram ram. Barber shop was closed. In the reflection calls, we have this 1 minute reflection about our day and also stage time. In that, we have a timer and we have to tell our story till now. So what happens in this is that we are forced to tell a story quickly, and when you're in the flow, more stories tend to come up and they just happen naturally. When I'm talking, usually 1 or 2 times it happens that when I'm in the flow, a better story appears to my mind, and either I note it down for the next time or I just speak it up right at the moment. I think stage time is a very good idea, because when you're actually telling your story in front of a, not a real but at least a virtual audience, you get lots of feedback, and that feedback again helps you build your story better next time. One time, this girl Miraya, when I was talking about a story, she suggested one thing. Then I thought that this might be a good idea, and that made a pretty good story. This is a suggestion for everybody who thinks that their stories are not great. Every person's stories which are great begins with like a okay normal story idea, and every time I go and present my story in the TMS calls, everybody gives me suggestions, and then I apply it on my story, and it keeps getting better. And the more I practice, it keeps getting more and more better. So when you collectively brainstorm for ideas, the ideas can go in more directions, as you don't know what the other person is thinking and the other person doesn't know what you are thinking. So if you come together, then the story can be even more better.
Okay, so collective storytelling. Storytelling by itself is not an individual activity. You have to tell a story to somebody. When somebody is telling you a story, there are things that are happening in your brain as well. There are things that memories that are coming in your brain as well. Which is why we always say, do this with a group. Now, the smallest group that you can always find is your family. But you could also do this with friends. You could also do this with your neighbors. And the intention is, the more you do collective storytelling, the more you hear other people's stories, the better you get at identifying what somebody is doing to make their stories nice. So perhaps could we have the kids back on? Anvay, Arjit, and Kanaisha? Tell me this, Arjit, has it
Yeah.
happened that you've listened to somebody else's story and then that's made you think of something nice? Or what are
Yeah.
the things that you observe when somebody else is telling a story?
Mm, I observe that they speak naturally,
Uh-huh. And
and
what advice would you give to somebody who's listening in and let's say is just starting and they're trying to think, how do I get better at storytelling? What would you suggest from your own journey? What are the things that helped you? What are the things that made it easier for you to tell stories?
make a hook and do it again and again.
So make a hook. Hook is basically something you do at the start. At the start, add a hook, and then you do it again and again. That's what helped you. Anvay, tell me this. I think you're very funny. I think your stories are quite funny. I also know that there are other people who tell funny stories. How, like, if I want to be funny and if I want to tell stories that are funny and get people to laugh, what advice would you give me? What suggestion would you give me?
To like think of like what makes most of the people laugh. Like if this makes me laugh and that makes other people laugh, then it like equals to some kind of funny.
So if something makes me laugh and it also makes somebody else laugh, then that's funny. Now, if you look at what Anvay just said, something that makes me laugh. Now that most people know. You hear something, you watch something, you read something, and you laugh. But what makes other people laugh? That you only know when you're doing it with other people. As in, when I'm telling a story and I think that Kanaisha is laughing, then I know that, oh, okay, I've said something and that has made Kanaisha laugh. So I know that I want to do more of that, which is why storytelling is a collective activity. And that's why we insist that all parents at home sit together at least 7 minutes a day and play the Tiny Mike story game and listen to stories and tell stories. Because just that act, if you do nothing else, if you just tell a story every day and you hear somebody else laughing at something you've said, your brain automatically tells you, okay, do more of this because I made somebody laugh. Okay, great. Kanaisha, tell me this. There will be some people who are very young and you're just 6 years of age, almost 7 now, and they would be like, I mean, I tell a lot of stories, but how do I structure that? So what advice would you give somebody who is very very young and just wanting to start? Do you have any suggestions for them? What helped you when you tell stories? What helps you?
Mm, it could help. No. It could help while something nice.
Okay, so something nice. When you tell your stories, do you look at things that make you feel something? Is that what happens?
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. Which of the tools do you find the most useful when it comes to coming up with stories? What helps you come up with the best stories?
Like with some words, I think of
some stories.
Okay. So, like we did today, a mind map. You just think of different words like fireworks, animals, injuries, and that's how you come up with stories. So, everyone who's listening in, here's what I want you to think of. In the 4 days of storytelling sessions, you saw different kids of different ages, of different backgrounds, of different speaking abilities, of different levels of English, of different levels of speaking and telling stories. You saw somebody who was extremely fluent already. You saw somebody who is just beginning, somebody like Anisha who's just 6 years of age, and somebody who perhaps English is their second or third language. And the reason I wanted to get all of these different kids here was to tell you that storytelling is not just for those who feel like they're already very good, they're already amazing speakers. It's also for those who are just beginning. It's also for those who might not feel that they can speak in English. So it's not about whether you tell a story in English or Hindi or Marathi or Gujarati or French or Kannada or Telugu or any other language. It's about the act of telling a story every day. Tell a story from your life, things you see, things you feel. And if you do that every day, there's no way you're not going to get better. So as we wrap this up, everybody, I want you to reflect on all the journey that we've had. For some of you, you've joined all the days of the summer camp and you've done yoga every day, you've done the different activity and art classes every day. Some of you have also made like a nice little shrine I saw in a couple of videos where you put all of those things. Some of you probably attended for some of those sessions. Some of you, maybe you didn't like certain sessions and you liked some sessions a lot. Whatever it is, a question for everyone is, what is something that you will do every day from now? You can decide what that is. Maybe you want to do Surya Namaskar every day. Okay. Maybe you want to do yoga every day. Okay. Maybe you want to tell a story every day. Whatever it is, can I ask everybody, even the ones listening in, to just write on a piece of paper that and then you can say your name, Sudarshan, will tell a story every day, or do yoga every day, or meditate every day, or whatever it is that you decide. Will everyone do that? Type Y in the comments if you are going to do that. Yes. And with that said, we are coming to the end of this. Arjit, Anvai, Kanaisha, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you had fun. I know I certainly did. I'm going to invite Kashish because she's also going to reflect on how it was for the Habuild team to do this. The summer camp was incredible, yes. Imagine how many different things we've done. So I would love for everyone to, in the chat, give a big thank you to Kashish, to Yamini, to Nakshi, to the entire Habil team, to Bhakti, Seema, Akanksha. Who else is there? Maybe I'm missing some people, and I'm sure that Kashish will bring them to your notice as well. But just say a big thank you to the entire Habil team for hosting this. I hope you had a good time. And thank you so much, Kanaisha, Anvai, and Arjit, and all the other kids who've joined for the storytelling session as well. Back to you, Kashish.
Thank you so much, Sudarshan. It was such a phenomenal session again. And like, you've gotten this habit of everyone to start reflecting. I think from the first session that I attended, I am forced to start reflecting on everything that I do on every single day, right? And that brings me to the reflection of the entire summer camp, like right from day one, where we started with just painting pots and growing our own plants, till today, till where we have actually gotten to tell stories. And the amazing part was, kids have really decorated their rooms with all the creatives that we made. They've also sent videos of the shlokas they've said. They've sent videos of their Surya Namaskars and all the fun we've had all throughout. So that is phenomenal, isn't it? But I think it'll be a great idea if we can have everybody on stage, as in all the teachers, all our experts. I hope they have all joined in. I am going to get Yamini. Hi. And we have Saurabh sir over here too. Can we have him on stage? Okay. We'll wait for Saurabh sir to join in. We have Seema over here. We have Seema who did tissue paper craft with us, and she did the doodle workshop, and we also made dotted coasters with her. All right. And I think Nakshi is reaching out to the other members as well, other
So
experts as
we
well.
have a question for Seema ma'am. I think the kids would also like to know. So Seema ma'am taught us three things, okay? She taught us how to make doodle art. She taught us how to make dotted coasters, colorful dotted coasters, and she also taught us how to do tissue paper art. So first from Seema ma'am, we want to know that what was the first craft that she started to make when she was a kid that made her enjoy doing crafts so much. So what was your favorite craft, Seema ma'am?
My favorite craft, it was not craft, but it was sketching. Whatever I saw near me, I used to try to doodle it. That's the reason doodle art came. And that's the reason I wanted to teach that, because it's whatever is in your mind, kids try to, put that on paper. The feelings, the emotions, they come out on paper. And it is so relieving, plus hand-eye coordination is best in this exercise, and you will feel so happy after putting your thoughts on paper, drawing it on paper. So that was my first thing when I was a child. I used to do that.
So now that we know that Seema ma'am's favorite is doodle art, we have to ask her what is her favorite thing to do in doodle art, right? What is her superpower in doodle art? Is it lines? Is it dots? Is it spirals? Is it semicircle? What is your superpower?
To bring anything in my imagination, whatever I have in my imagination, I would like to bring that on paper through all the patterns I know. Now, like I know mandala also, so I try to bring those patterns also in the doodle art. So whatever is the scenery in your mind, like an adventure trip or a family trip, you're going somewhere, you saw some scenery in front of you, you would like to, recreate it on paper. You don't need anything else, just a pencil or a pen and a simple paper. So I try to draw that patterns and a scene all together.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. Next, we'll go to Sudarshan. Next, we'll go to Sudarshan and we'll ask him. He asked us to tell a lot of stories. So, we will ask him if he can turn into a story character for a day, what character would it be?
Story character. Like many kids growing up, a lot of superhero really fascinate me. So Spider-Man, there was a time when I used to think I was Spider-Man. So anytime I would just catch something, I'd be like, oh, is there a chance that a web might shoot out? Because you see all of that and you think, oh, maybe I'm developing those powers. I used to try and go and see if I could just walk up walls कि पता नहीं गलती से मे बी निकल जाए जैसे पीटर पार्कर का भी वही हुआ था ना वन डे ही सडनली रियलाइज ही कुड क्लाइंब वॉल्स so there was a time when I used to think कि I would be Superman and then when I grew up I thought कि यार ये तो supernatural चीजें है ये नहीं होती है but then I thought oh Batman तो possible है if I become really smart that's why I got into engineering also and I was like oh if I become really smart I could build my own vehicles and all of that so perhaps like superheroes at different times were things that I wanted to become. And now I realize that superheroes in general are also at their core stories that are told. So that's why now I just rely on stories to talk about everything that I want to be and everything I wish I could be.
Amazing. I have one more question for you. You work with so many kids for storytelling. I want you to tell us a fun sound or a gesture that you do that kids generally love. So I know you do this, the virtual clapping after every kid completes their story. But is there any fun sound that if you feel that, oh, kids really enjoy this?
I'll tell you something very honestly. I don't come up with any of these things. It's the kids that do. Came because one of the kids started doing this. I was like, "Arey, this is cool." So I started doing that. Even the sounds are quite interesting because you spoke of sound specifically recently in one of these calls. We do a Zoom call and then we send the kids into breakout rooms and they tell stories and they come back. And when they came back, one of the kids started going, "Hello, hello," and then other kids started following that. So now it's become a custom. Every time people come back from from the breakout rooms, all the kids go, "Hello, hello," and that's quite funny. We also, like, we have physical gestures also. So we, to help the kids get better at body language, we have this game called Prisoner where they have to, like, put their hands next to each other and then speak. We have the Diplomat where they have to speak like that, and the Dancer where they have to talk using their body language. All of these things, whether the sounds, the body language, or anything else, I have come up with almost zero of those. It's just been kids who do something and I was like, okay, this is nice, and then I just implement them in the sessions.
Amazing, amazing. So good to hear. Now we'll come to Bhakti ma'am for some questions. So
Hello.
did
Yeah.
a lot of activities with her. We did 5 activities with her. We did plant pot painting, we did no fire cooking, we did best out of waste, we did her yoga craft, and we did organic
Right.
stamp painting. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So now that you've done so many activities, while doing these activities with the kids at Habuild, which craft made you think, oh, I need to do this again by myself at my home?
So I'll tell you, I also take up personal sessions, right? So as soon as I was getting done with the summer camp, I was running because I at least have 5 sessions post that. So mornings, usually I do have sessions. Those were cancelled. They were postponed to other days. After that, I have actually done Picasso with multiple students. We had done one version of it earlier because I've already taught them what basic Picasso is. But the ideas that all our students came up with, I'm not saying it just because we were a part of it and we are so happy to be a part of Habuild, but the response and the kind of materials they've used in has given me also so much inspiration that I have personally asked all my students to collect things. So during the personal session, we were going around their house, going around their kitchen, doing things. That was fab. I think Picasso was great because no fire cooking is something that we have done earlier. So it wasn't a shocker for me, but no fire cooking also went very, very well, I think.
Amazing. And we also did so many activities with you, which made all our kids into earth champions, right? We all
Absolutely.
became very, very sustainable during these
Absolutely.
emergency camps.
Automatically sustainable. Honestly,
Yes.
automatically sustainable is when we build up the storyline together. We did not really focus on zero waste and sustainability, but through our we even material wise we did not really plan that, but starting from the first session automatically it became like that, which is
So,
great.
what activity do you think made them earth heroes the most? I know all the activities were. So, out
Sorry.
of these 5 activities, which activity do you think made them the earth champion the most?
The earth champion,
Was
I
it
think.
Picasso?
I think
Was it
even the Har Ghar Yoga craft was amazing because reference wise also we had multiple ideas, and for them to compose something and whatever references whatever pictures we've received from them are really different from what we had actually taught them. So they've used bits and parts how we actually explained to them in class that you need to use and make a good composition, which I have never seen. They actually how do you say, they've actually given me more than 100% on the Har Ghar Yoga also. Also a plus point, it was a Sunday, they were all sitting with us peacefully doing things and we showed them so many references. I think Har Ghar Yoga also we did a great job.
amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. We'll now
Thank
move to
you.
Dr. Rupesh and we will ask him 2 fun questions. The first question was, what healthy snack did you eat as a kid that you think kids today should also eat?
Oh, very interesting. मैं बोलूँगा तो गालियाँ पड़ेंगी मुझे chat में because I like being honest. My favorite snack as a I think I have to address the Sindhi supremacy on the chat as well
Chai
first.
cookie, say that please.
Chai cookie is my
Yeah, yeah.
my
We have
favorite
like so
go-to
many
thing.
Sindhis. One, two,
I
three, four.
know
Out of seven, we have.
on this box there's a Sindhi supremacy.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So
yeah,
cool.
so chai cookie. But then
All ending with A and I.
ANI, yes, yes, absolutely. There was one thing which Mama used to make, roti के ऊपर मक्खन, and then sugar sprinkled over it. And I have a really fun story to share on that. मैं मम्मा से मिला था बहुत टाइम के बाद, एंड मैं मम्मा ने वो बना के दिया, तो मैंने वो पूरा प्रोसेस बना के मैंने स्टोरी पे डाला था इंस्टाग्राम पे. There were a few followers who are like keto fanatics. They're like, "Yeah, how can you promote this?" And they unfollowed me on that. कि you lost a follower, doctor. And I was like, fair. I think जैसे सौरभ भाई बोलते रहते ना, योगा करो सीख जाओगे, वैसे मैं बोला उनको कि आप मेरा फॉलो और करो कंटेंट, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि कोई भी चीज आइसोलेशन में हेल्दी अनहेल्दी नहीं होती है. यू हैव टू समटाइम्स सेटिस्फाई योर अंतरात्मा की तृप्ति एज वेल.
Okay, I think that's true. And we learned it through Dr. Umesh's nutrition session also, that you have to balance it out, 80-20.
Absolutely.
Once a while it's okay, no feeling guilty. So those of us who have not watched, you'll have the recordings and you can always go back and watch the recordings. The
Yes.
second question is, and it always comes to mind also, and it came to my mind when I was a little child, was we keep all these fruits and vegetables, like not all, but some of these fruits and vegetables together, right? Do fruits and vegetables talk to each other? And if yes, what do they tell each other?
यार, that's a good question. I have never thought about it. In अगर आप हेल्थ वाइज पूछ रहे हो कि हमें फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स को मिक्स करके खाना चाहिए नहीं खाना चाहिए आफ्टर देयर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, सो देर इज नन, लाइक देर, आई वुडंट से नन, बट देर आर सर्टेन फूड आइटम्स विच इफ यू कंबाइन तो एक फूड आइटम में जो पर्टिकुलर मिनरल या माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट होता है, वो दूसरा फूड आइटम शायद उसका अब्जॉर्प्शन स्लो डाउन कर सकता है, कम कर सकता है, अटका सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फ्रूट्स में और वेजिटेबल्स में पालक एंड मिल्क में पनीर का कॉम्बिनेशन के बारे में लोग बहुत बात करते हैं. इफ यू ईट पालक एंड पनीर टुगेदर, देन द कैल्शियम इन द डेयरी विल रिड्यूस द एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ आयरन इन पालक. दैट्स देयर. बट मैं ऐसा बोलता हूँ कि हमें आइसोलेशन में एक कोई फूड कॉम्बिनेशन को देख के डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, इफ दैट वाज द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. But if the context was something else, like an imaginary thing, जैसे सुदर्शन भाई would do in the storytelling part, कि
Yes,
हम
please.
सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स को कैरेक्टर्स दे रहे हैं, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स में बहुत राइवलरी होता होगा, बिकॉज वेजिटेबल्स को भाव नहीं मिलता है बच्चों की प्लेट पे. फ्रूट्स तो मीठे हैं तो उसके बहुत भाव मिल जाता है, बहुत जगह मिलती है. वेजिटेबल्स को बहुत इग्नोर किया जाता है, तो बेचारे वो ऐसे एक कोने में सैड पड़े हुए हैं, एंड फ्रूट्स आर गोइंग, एंड देन के नहीं नहीं ब्रो, यू गाइस आर चिल. भले बच्चे खाते नहीं है, पर बड़े होंगे ना तो उनकी कमी आपको समझेगी एंड वो खा लेंगे आपको. सो देयर इज दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ कन्वर्सेशन गोइंग ऑन इन बिटवीन देम. दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक ऑफ.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And now we will come to Kashish ma'am, who did yoga with us. And every day she would ask us whether we did yoga twice. Are we seeing her for the second time or not? But today she forgot to ask. Do you all know why? Today she did not ask us. Did you ask us, Kashish ma'am?
Today she caught me. Yamini was waiting that how do I catch up or something. No, I did not ask today because today I was sad that I'm leaving you all. But I am sure we will do something together, right? So kids, you all have to give us ideas. What do you want to do together so that we can keep meeting on and off, at least, if not every day, but somehow, right? Probably can we all meet in Saurabh sir's class for the yoga? What do you all think? Yes, we can all join for Saurabh sir's class from tomorrow, right? Is everyone in? Can I see thumbs up for the kids? Yes,
How
these
many
girls are on it.
days?
How many days? Okay. So then let's start it. So I will announce it now. So let's start it from 9th of June then for 21 days. How about that? Yes, kids, I want to see
What?
thumbs up from everyone. Come on.
Umesh bhai saying
Let-
something.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Umesh.
No, I'm saying I'm all in.
Awesome. So everyone first on the screen, Bhakti ma'am, Seema ma'am, Sudarshan, Saurabh of course will be there, Yamini. Are we all in for this? for the 21-day challenge? Yes. Are we all showing the double thumbs up? Yes. Amazing. So kids, हमारे तरफ से तो double thumbs up आ गए. Are you all ready? Can we see double thumbs up from you all?
We can also do rainbow thumbs up because we do
Oh,
rainbow.
yes. From the rainbow highs to rainbow thumbs ups, of course.
Oh, ho, ho.
Awesome. All right. Yes.
And the second question for Kashish ma'am is very smart, huh? She changed all the things, the whole narrative, so that we could not ask her more questions. So, Kashish ma'am, your question is, what is your favorite yoga pose that makes you feel like a superhero?
Surya Namaskars. It's
But
not
that's
just one
not one
pose.
pose.
Exactly. I knew this. I knew this. Saurabh sir was going to catch me on that. It's not one pose. Question to all the kids is, how many poses is that then? Come on. Oh, hi Akansha.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Hi. Thanks now. Akansha is going to save me. Yeah, please come to her.
So we did what activity with Akansha ma'am? We did clay craft. That's right. Not only we did clay frames, we actually planned to learn photo frames, but somehow during the sessions we learned how to make fridge magnets, how to make keychains. So we want to ask Akansha ma'am one thing, that if one of our kids want to become a clay artist, a huge famous clay artist one day, what is one fun tip that you would do? I mean, you would give to them. Fun tip for clay craft.
Fun tip. Uh, okay. Okay, you put me right at the spot. I
बेचारे
was not.
बेचारे instructors को पता भी नहीं था यामिनी that you're going to take
हाँ,
their class. It's like
exactly.
reverse,
Exactly.
pseudo reverse. Like
Actually,
everyone is like कि मेरे को
Right
सवाल क्यों
at
पूछे
the
जा रहे हैं?
center.
That was my job.
yeah, like, okay. I mean, the whole process is fun. So, of actually making and experimenting and trying, the whole thing is it's so much fun that the tip is not to just get scared at all before trying anything, and just go for it. Like, just try. You will fail sometimes, but it's so much fun while failing as well. So I think that's the fun part of it, I would say.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And now we will ask Saurabh sir some questions. So Saurabh sir, tell us what I am sure you saw a lot of activities on our Facebook group and
Community,
Instagram.
yes.
Yes. So what do you think kids enjoyed the most? Which activity do you think kids enjoyed the most? We can take four,
Uh,
5 names. That's all right.
4-5 minutes.
4, 5 names, 4, 5
4-5
activities.
names. I think I saw हर घर योगा वाला जो वो था वो सबसे ज्यादा I saw on Facebook community. That's but I'm generally also not like seeing Facebook community since past few days, so I'm not exactly sure. But I'm sure kids can tell this better than me. Like who am I to say कि ये अच्छा लगा या वो. और बट मज़ा तो बहुत आया, मुझे तो बहुत मज़ा आया. मैंने स्टोरीज भी सुनी कुछ कुछ और सभी सेशंस अच्छे थे. That's all I know, but I think kids can tell. All instructor, please ask Yamini ma'am. Yeah, this is a good idea. This is from kids.
We will
Yeah,
not
I
leave.
like everything. See, so many people.
Amazing, amazing. So that was it for the kids summer camp. We really hope that you enjoyed. If all the instructors have some final thing to say, you all can please go and share your experience, your feelings, or if you have anything
I
to
can
say.
read some comments like tissue paper was good, Pablo Picasso was nice, stamping was very good, poster craft was nice. You have a question for Yamini ma'am? Put it on the chat. We'll ask her. Everything was so good. Zentangle art was nice. I enjoyed storytelling the most. I'm loving with every activity. उमेश भाई, I think खाने पीने का आपने बहुत ही restriction डाला है. कुछ से कुछ आपने बोला होगा जो बच्चों को लगा यार ये तो खाने पीने की बातें बता रहा है हमको. What did she like the most? Yamini, the question is for you. How old
I
are you, Yamini ma'am? This is the question. I would want this to be answered now.
I think I am 30 years
Yeah,
old
yeah.
by birth.
Umesh sir, you have a lot of love in the chat right now. Best was
I'm
Umesh sir.
Remy.
Yeah.
I have a question for Yamini.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
हाँ, मुझे बताओ कि आपने हर इंस्ट्रक्टर से एक एक चीज क्या सीखी एज अ किड द बच्चा
As
इन
a,
योर इन इनसाइड यू व्हाट दैट बच्चा हैज लर्नड
Amazing question.
okay, so I will start with the first session that we had with Bhakti ma'am. And what I learned was overwatering is not effective. The first thing that we did was we did pot painting and उसमें हमने seeds डाले और हम पानी डाल रहे थे. तो भक्ति मैम ने कहा कि हम लोग थोड़ा सा पानी डालेंगे, अगर हम लोग ज्यादा पानी डालेंगे तो वो भीग जाएगा. Similarly, in our life we can learn that as a lesson कि जिसका जितना how much ever the cup is, you can give pour only that much. उससे ज्यादा जो भी आप pour करोगे, it will overflow. The second session that we did with Zentang, we did doodle art with Seema ma'am, and that was a lot of fun because it was it required a lot of patience है ना. When we look at an art, we just want वो same art as it is जल्दी से बन जाए, but it takes a lot of effort. So patience is very important, and that is something I learned from Seema ma'am. The third thing we did with Akanksha ma'am. And what I learned was when you do something, it might get messy. तो जब हम clay craft कर रहे थे, वो messy हो रहा था, हमारे hands dirty हो रहे थे. So it's okay if it gets dirty. You always have options. So life can get messy, but you can always take a clean damp cloth and wipe and get your hands clean again. That is something that I learned from Akanksha ma'am. Then we had nutrition with Dr. Umesh, and in that we learned cheat meal is okay. कभी कभी जो मन करे वो खा सकते हैं. आत्मा की तृप्ति is equally important, and it's absolutely okay not to feel guilty. So life में भी हम लोग कभी कभी कुछ ऐसा कर लेते हैं which we want to do but we do not do. कभी कभी it's okay. We can do that. From Sudarshan sir, we learned so much, right? And the best thing that I learned from Sudarshan sir's 4-day storytelling was this, that you don't always have to be the best, but you always have to show up and tell a story. So what we preach at Habuild also, showing up, consistency, that is something we learned from there. And the best thing we learned from Kashish ma'am, that yoga is always fun. You can do whatever you want, but the most important thing is to have fun. So that's all. That's what I learned from all the instructors at the summer camp.
Yamini ma'am, there's a request that we should have a monsoon camp and we should have a winter camp also.
Done. We had already decided the winter camp, but since somebody has put monsoon camp, we will plan and we'll have to be very, very fast with it because we are already in the pre-monsoon era. So we'll have to plan one monsoon camp really, really soon.
Yamini ma'am, what do you teach? Everyone is
That's a
talking
very
about.
interesting question. I can teach a lot of things. Whatever you want to learn, you just tell me and I'll be there to teach you.
Yamini ma'am can teach you how to host the session. Yeah. But any questions you guys have, like put it in the chat. I will read some questions. एक काम करो, समर कैंप मॉनसून में फिर से कर लो, ऐसे भी बोल रहा है कोई. समर कैंप के लिए कहीं घुमाने लेके चलो हमको. This is a request.
I am also requesting this. जिसने भी ये कहा, I'm in.
Chalo. That's it. I think the kids, no one is asking a question. Yamini ma'am, over to
has
you.
some announcements. Yamini, please go ahead.
Yes,
Yamini loves making announcements.
So for all of us who did the summer camp, I know first day I came like a class monitor and I said that we'll all have to mark our attendance, right? But when we said, "Arey nahi, this is becoming too much of a hassle and we're not going to do that." So today, after this session, we will send you a message which will have, of course, the recording of all the sessions that we did, because today only we heard one story, right? 1 minute storytelling that, oh, somebody's schools are going on, but they're watching the recordings, doing the activities and putting it in their wall, right? So we will share the recordings with you, but that link And be careful, we'll also have the link for the certificate. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to click on the link, you'll have to enter your name, you'll have to enter how many days you did, because I know every day most kids join, but some days we also got our friends to join, right? So they might have one less day than you did, so you need to enter how many days of summer camp did you attend. We had 14-15 days of summer camp, so you can put that, okay, whatever number of days you did. And then you can also put your age, how old are you, so that we can see, oh my god, we had somebody who was 3 years old and did the summer camp, and we might have somebody who is 60 years old and they did the summer camp, right? Because everybody is a child from within. So you all can enter your age, and then you all can also put the phone number of your parents, because we are kids, we don't have phones, right? So you do all that, and then you'll have a beautiful certificate ready for you. And then you can download that certificate and you can share it wherever you want, on your mama, papa, chachu, chachi, dadu, dadi, nanu, nani, didi, bhaiya, whoever's Instagram, Facebook, any social media. You can tag all our instructors, you have all their accounts by now, right? And you can tag all of them, and then you all can share it and tell your friends that, hey, we did summer camp with Habuild, and that you all can also do it the next time we do a monsoon camp. But we are starting with a 21-day yoga with Saurabh sir. Saurabh sir, say hi. We'll do a 21 days yoga with Saurabh sir from 9th of June. And we'll all come and we'll do yoga with Saurabh sir from 9th of June. Okay? And we'll keep doing all the activities that we learned. We'll keep telling stories every day. We'll keep, taking care of what we eat. We will check that our plates are balanced. We will do some fun activities. Whenever we see that too many waste materials have accumulated, we'll make some art out of it, and we'll keep posting all of that on our Facebook community or Instagram or wherever we can do, because this camp has ended, but your camp has never will not end, and it should never end. So keep doing things. I will also keep making things. I'll also post them, so you all also do that. Okay, those were the announcements.
Awesome. Bhakti ma'am, someone is asking, can you show your plant?
Yes,
Two
please.
people are asking, can you show your pot? It's out
Bhakti
somewhere.
ma'am, you're on mute. You're on mute. Bhakti ma'am, you're on mute.
Sorry, so my plant is actually out a little far away, but it has grown really well, and we have received, the entire team has received so many pictures of you all sharing your plant pictures, and we are so happy to receive all of those. And also, Saurabh sir and Kashish ma'am and Yamini ma'am were asking that, do we as teachers have any instructions or any response for the summer camp? I personally feel that I need to really thank Saurabh sir that he has brought all of us so well and so together in these 15 days that we all feel like one family now. All parents also, not only just students, but parents also are so happy. And during the class also, we saw that everybody was so happy. The entire morning and the day, I'm sure of all the instructors went so well after the camp, which is very rare usually. So thank you so much, Habuild team, Saurabh sir. We all had a blast, and we can't wait to do another one with you.
Absolutely. So a big round of applause, but in the Sudarshan style. Yay! Awesome. So super. We will see you all very soon. And if not, then 9 June it is for sure. Everyone, let's see on the mat. And that's it from our end. Big rainbow, bye.
Bye bye, everyone. Thank you.
बाय ऑल, मिलते हैं. बाय बाय.
Bye.
बाय.